Hello, welcome back to class. And we'll be talking about cybersecurity laws, policies, and regulation. Looking at the global perspective, we'll look at the overview of cyber laws and compliance. We will also look at cybersecurity laws in some selected countries like United States, UK, Canada, European Union, China, Nigeria, Brazil, India, Russia, South Africa, and United Arab Emirates. This module actually will explore the legal, regulatory, and policy frameworks governing cybersecurity globally. And while technical controls are crucial, they must operate within a legal and ethical context, defining acceptable behavior and ensuring minimum security standards. And understanding these frameworks is essential for cybersecurity professionals to be able to ensure compliance, avoid legal liability, and also support responsible digital practices in an interconnected world. Looking at the global perspective on cyber laws, we have some. For United States, it's a comprehensive federal and state level law. Canada makes use of federal legislation and provincial regulation. The United Kingdom has a robust domestic law and European Union influenced regulation. And for European Union, it's one of the most comprehensive framework, which is the GDPR. For China, it makes use of a strict regulatory framework with national priorities. Nigeria has a significant progress in cybercrime and data protection. For Brazil, it has a robust legal framework for data protection. For India, it's actually having a rapidly evolving framework for digital economy. And for Russia, it's a state-centered framework with strict localization. And for South Africa, it has a robust legal and regulatory framework. And lastly, United Arab Emirates, which has a progressive framework for digital economy also. And this module actually explores the diverse regulatory approaches, compliance requirements, and penalties across this key jurisdiction, highlighting how each balances security, privacy, innovation, and enforcement. Let's have an overview of the law and compliance. And cyber law, also known as information technology or digital laws, define legal rights and responsibility in the digital environment, and they address cybercrime, data protection, privacy, intellectual property, and electronic transaction. And cyber laws help to, one, prevent cybercrime, also protect data, they also facilitate e-commerce, and lastly, establish accountability and compliance. To this ensures that organizations operate legally, ethically, and securely in an interconnected world. Let's look at the types of cyber laws that are available. And cyber laws regulate digital activities, protect users, and maintain order by addressing distinct interconnected legal domains. And each category responds to specific risk associated with information and communication technology. And we have the types to include data protection and privacy, and this regulates collections, processing, storage, and sharing of personal data. We also have the cyber law, which addresses illegal activities via computer system, criminalizing unauthorized access, fraud, and malware. And we also have the intellectual property cyber law, and this deals with the protection of digital creations like software, online content, trademarks, and copyright. We also have electronic transaction cyber law, This deals with establishing legal validity of digital contracts, records, and signature. And lastly, critical infrastructure and national security cyber law. And it protects essential digital system in sectors like energy, health, and finance. Looking at the compliance in cybersecurity, it is adhering to legal, regulatory, and organizational cybersecurity standard, and it is crucial for reducing legal liabilities and financial penalties. And the importance of compliance in cybersecurity includes the reduction of legal liabilities and financial penalties from breaches, protection of sensitive customers, employees, and organization data, enhancement of organizational reputation and trust, and lastly is the alignment with international standard enabling global operations. We have the key activities like conducting risk and assessment, implementing security policies and control, training employee on compliance, maintaining records and audits, and the challenge that can be said as per compliance include rapid technological advancement, outpacing legal framework, jurisdictional complexity, and balancing privacy, uh, security, and innovation. Looking at cyber security laws in the United States, it actually has a comprehensive framework, and in 1986, it's the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act was made available. And in 1986 also, there was an Electronic Communication Privacy Act. Also in 1996, there was the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, which comes up. And in 1999, you have the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act. And we also have the state level laws also coming forth, and this provides an enhanced privacy rights, including access, deletion, and opt-out for personal data. And the U.S. law focuses on data privacy, critical infrastructure protection, and cybercrime enforcement, with mandatory compliance for businesses in regulated sectors. In Canada and in UK, for Canada, we have the PIPEDA, which was in 2000, and it governs personal information in collection, use, and disclosure by private organization. There is also Criminal Code, Digital Privacy Act, and you also have the provincial laws also, which is an additional privacy legislation in provinces like BC and Alberta. And for United Kingdom, they have the Computer Misuse Act, the Data Protection Act, the NIS regulations, which applies to essential services, requiring risk assessment and inciting reporting. And they also have the Investigatory Power Act. And the UK law focuses on protecting citizens' data, securing critical infrastructure, and enforcing accountability. For the issue, the General Data Protection Regulation, which was implemented in May 2018, is in use and is one of the most comprehensive and influential regulation framework of data protection globally. And looking at it from the broad scope, it applies to all organizations processing EU citizens' personal data, regardless of location. And it has a strict penalty as per fines up to 20 million uh, and or 4% of global annual turnover for non-compliance. And for data principles, it includes lawfulness, fairness, transparency, purpose, limitation, data minimization, and more. And for data subject rights, it deals with access, rectification, erasure, which is right to be forgotten, data portability, and objection to processing. And the GDPR emphasizes individual privacy, accountability, and proactive security, compelling organizations to be able to worldwide to adopt robust cybersecurity practices. In China, they make use of Cybersecurity Law 2017, Data Security Law in 2021, for 2021, Personal Information Protection Law 2021. Also, in China, law emphasizes state control, national security, and data localization, requiring strict compliance from organization. And for Russia, it makes use of Federal Law on Information 2006, Federal Law on Personal Information 2006 as amended in 2014, and Information Security Doctrine 2000. And Russia law prioritizes national security, also state oversight and data localization with strict regulatory mandates. We also have for a number of countries, for Nigeria, it makes use of Cybercrime Act 2015 and Nigeria Data Protection Regulation 2019, which focus on cybercrime enforcement and data protection. Brazil has a General Data Protection Law 2018 and Cybercrime Legislation 2012, and which emphasize data privacy and cybercrime enforcement. India also have the Information Technology Act 2000 and proposed personal data protection bills, which focus on cybercrime prevention and data security. South Africa, on its own, has ECTA 2002 and the POPA 2013, which address cybercrime, electronic transactions, and personal information. The United Arab Emirates has a federal decree law number 5, year 2012, and data protection law 2021, which focus on cybercrime and data protection for a digital economy. In conclusion, this model has been able to demonstrate that effective cyber security requires a robust legal foundation to govern digital behavior and ensure accountability. And by comparing global framework from the privacy-centric GDPR of European Union to state-centric model in China and Russia, we've been able to examine how different jurisdictions balance individual rights with national security, and ultimately we've been able to integrate this legal and ethical obligation with technical defenses, which is essential for achieving regulatory compliance, avoiding penalties, and maintaining trust in a hyper-connected global landscape. And this will be better understood if the note is being read in full. Thank you for listening.